Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 2 of unit number 3, vector spaces and inner product spaces. In this lecture, in previous lecture we have seen the definition of a vector space, that also I have given here one more time. Okay, and in this lecture we will continue with the solving examples based on this definition. Okay, so by using this definition we can check whether the given set of vectors V is form vector space or not. Okay, so for that set we need to verify these 10 properties. Out of that, first 5 property number 1 to 5 are related to the first operation, addition, which is defined over that set, and second means remaining 5 depend upon the second operation, that is scalar multiplication. Okay, so two operations we have on in vectors. One is addition and second is scalar multiplication. So we need to verify that 10 properties for the given set, and from that we conclude whether the given set of vectors over some field of scalars forms vector space or not. So let us take the first example. This is the example number 1. Let V be the set of column vectors x, y under the condition such that, how we read this, such that we can read this as such that the oblique line y equal to 5x, means all the elements of the V when we are column vectors and which satisfy the condition y equal to 5x, that is the second element of that column vector is 5 times multiple of the first element. Now under usual addition and multiplication, verify that V is a vector space. Okay, under usual addition and multiplication is what? Our normal addition and multiplication. So for verifying this, whether the given set is vector space or not, we need to verify out these 10 properties, starting from first property up to 10 properties. So first 5 properties are related to addition operation. The first is closure property. V is closed or under addition or not, that we have to check. Then whether addition is associative or not for that set. Then addition is commutative or not. Then addition is associative or not. Then whether zero identity of element of 0 exists or not. And then inverse of every element exists or not under addition. For addition, that 5 properties we are going to check first. Fine. So for that purpose, consider any two members of the set V. So I have considered here U and V, which are the members of the given set V. So they will satisfy the condition of that set, which is y equal to second element of that vector is equal to 5 times the first element. So for the vector U, we have this relation y1 equal to 5x1, and for the vector V, we have y2 equal to 5x2. Fine. Now let us verify all the 5 properties. So very first we are going to check whether it is closed under addition or not, that is whether U plus V belongs to the set V or not. So let us add two vectors U plus V. So U plus V is the addition of two column vectors. We know how to add matrices. In that way we add it. These are the column matrices or column vector we say, because we are in the vector space. So addition will be this component wise addition, x1 plus x2 plus y1 plus second element is y1 plus y2. Now for this to be member of V, we need to verify whether the second element of this vector addition of these two vectors is 5 times multiple of the first element or not, that is y1 plus y2 equal to 5 times x1 plus x2 or not. Okay, so let us consider y1 plus y2, but as U and V are the members of capital V, we have already y1 equal to 5 times x1 and y2 equal to 5 times x2. So y1 and y2 will take as 5 times x1 plus 5 times x2. Fine. Now if you take common 5, so we'll get finally 5 times x1 plus x2, and this will prove that the second element of this vector y1 addition of two vectors is 5 times multiple of the first element. Hence U plus V belongs to V, that we can claim. Now let us check whether addition is commutative or not. So for that purpose we are going to verify whether U plus V equal to V plus U or not, right? So I have taken U plus V again, which we have already determined. Now we can write for x1 plus x2 x2 plus x1, because they are the member of real numbers. Okay, and y1 plus y2 also we can write as y2 plus y1. Fine. Hence this will imply u plus v equal to v plus u. So addition is commutative also for this particular set. Now third, whether addition is associative. Clearly you can see that as this is the addition of real numbers, this x and y are the real numbers, okay, they are matrices over the field of real numbers. So x1 and xy are the real numbers. So addition of real numbers is associative. Because of that, this set will satisfy the property of associativity also and of addition. In this way you need to write it. X1 plus first u plus v is x1 plus x2 plus this first matrix and plus x3. Then after adding we'll get this matrix, and again we can separate vector u from this second addition v plus w in this way. Okay, so this is how you need to show that associativity. Now finally, the additive identity, whether for this set additive identity exists or not. As this x and y are belong to R, so 0 is the real number which exists. So this 0 is also member of the set V, because 0 we can write as 5 times 0. Hence 0 is also the member, and u plus 0 is u again. You can see that. And finally, negative. Let this minus u x1 x1 y1 belongs to V. We have considered this element from the set V, and we need to show that whether v plus minus times u equal to 0 or not, right? So that you can see here, if you add u with minus u, you'll get x1 y1 plus minus x1 y1, and if you do the addition of these two column vectors, we'll get the 0. So additive inverse also exists. Now these are the 5 properties of the vector addition. Now let us check the remaining 5 properties regarding scalar multiplication, whether this matrix, whether this set, whether these elements of this set V satisfy that 5 properties or not, that we have to check. So for that purpose, let us see this. Let alpha belongs to R. We have considered one real number, alpha belongs to R, and u we have taken from the V. And if you take alpha times u, we'll get alpha times u equal to alpha x1 alpha y1, and alpha y1, as y1 is 5 times x1, okay, hence 5 times alpha x1 will get, and finally we'll get y1 equal to 5x1. This alpha into u also belongs to V because of this condition, right? Because alpha y1 equal to 5 times alpha times a x 5 times alpha x1, okay. Because of that, this will be this member, this will belong to the set V. Now similarly you can verify the remaining. Alpha plus beta times u, we can write this as alpha plus beta times x1 y1, and this is equal to alpha x1 plus beta y1, which is equal to alpha times u. All the 5 properties you can see, all these properties will get verified. Hence finally you can claim that P is a vector space because it satisfies all the 10 properties, right? Now you just need to check how we are writing the property. Depending upon the elements of that set V, we carry out the addition and multiplication. So here the members of V are the matrices, column matrices like this x, y, which satisfy the condition y equal to 5x, right? So this type of column vectors we have. So we just have to verify all the 10 properties for these elements, okay? If you take u belongs to capital V, for such elements we are going to verify all these 10 properties, and you can see the solution. All these properties get satisfied. Hence finally, after verifying all these 10 properties, you can claim that V forms a vector space. Now let us do the another example. Now this example I will solve for you, okay? So this is a vector V. This is the vector V, x, y, z belongs to R3, means small x, small y, small z are real numbers. This belongs to 3-dimensional space vectors, okay? And these are also column vectors like previous example. And the condition on these elements are x square plus y square plus z square addition equal to 1. Now we need to verify for this set also whether it satisfies all the properties or not. So for that purpose we'll start from addition. Consider 2 elements. Let u equal to x1 y1 z1, and v equal to another element x2, y2, z2 belongs to capital V. So we have taken these two elements belongs to capital V. Now we'll see that whether their addition also member of the previous set or not. So the addition will be u plus v equal to, column wise addition is what, x1 plus x2, second element's addition is y1 plus y2, and third element's addition is z1 plus z2. Now for this to be member of the set V, we must have the square of the additions of the every element equal to 1. Okay, so we'll consider the addition of x1 plus x2 square, y1 plus y2 square, z1 plus z2 square equal to, we need to check whether it is equal to 1 or not. Okay, and if it is 1, then only it will belong to the set V. So let us consider this addition: x1 plus x2 bracket square plus y1 plus y2 bracket square, z1 plus z2 bracket square. If this is equal to 1, then only this will be the member of V, otherwise it will not be a member of V. And if you expand this bracket, okay, you will find there the terms of the type 2 times x1 x2, right, 2 times x1, and also you will have x1 square, then y1 square, then z1 square, x2 square, y2 square, z square. But x1 square, y1 square plus z1 square is already 1, and if you add with this x2 square plus y2 square plus z2 square, will get 2 there, 1 plus 1 2, and the other terms will be there: 2 times x1 x2, 2 times y1 y2, then 2 times z1 z2, right? And clearly this is not equal to 1, and as this is not equal to 1, we can claim that u plus v does not belong to capital V. Means this set is not closed. This set is, sorry, this set is, set V is not closed under addition. So very first property of the vector space definition is not satisfied, that is, set is not closed under addition. Hence V is not a vector space. We can claim that this V is not a vector space. Fine. So in that way, some examples may result in not a vector space, some example may result in some vector space. Means some set V will satisfy all the 10 properties, some set may not satisfy all the 10 properties. Okay, so in that way you need to check if one of the 10 condition is not satisfied for that set, then we can claim that that set is not a vector space. Now these are the some examples that I am leaving for you, just try to practice them. Okay, the first example is V equal to xy, and the condition is x and y are integers, right? So it will satisfy all the conditions of addition, because addition of integer is also again an integer. So it will satisfy all the 5 properties of addition, but it will not satisfy the scalar multiplication, because alpha times u, where u is some member, alpha times v does not belong to V. As alpha is a real number, when we'll multiply by a real number like of the form 1 by 2, if it multiply by 1 by 2 to any member of this type xy, okay, where x and y are integer, if you multiply by 1 by 2, where 1 by 2 is a scalar alpha, then we'll get here x by 2, y by 2, and which may not be integers in every case. Okay, so because of that, this first cannot be a vector space. Like that you can check for all the remaining. Okay, here second is the polynomial, okay, p of x, a0 plus a1x square plus a2x square, where a0, a1, a2 are the real numbers. Okay, now when we add, you need to verify whether when we add the two polynomials of second degree, whether we get again the two polynomial of a second degree, that you need to verify. Okay, So try to verify all these properties. If you need any help, you can ask me. For these 5 examples, you try to apply the definition. And as we have solved in the first example, you can see here, here we have verified all the 10 properties. You write them systematically and try to apply all these 10 properties depending upon the elements of the set V. If it is a column matrices of the type column vector, you can say at that time you take the members as column vector, and if the in the some examples we are having here polynomials, accordingly you change the members as a polynomial. Okay, so consider 2 polynomials and add them, check whether it satisfies associative or not, and if some of the property fails, then we can claim that it is not a vector space. Example number 4 forms a vector space, and example number 5 does not form the vector space, and for 2 and 3 you check and try to tell me what are the answers. And if you need any help, you can write in comment box. So that's it from this lecture. Hope you understood the examples on the definition of a vector space. Now in coming lecture we'll start the new topic, subspace of a vector space. Thank you.